Hello and welcome back to Deadfire. So, we have one last shop to explore and then we're done with Periki's Overlook. But before we do that, there's some plants that I missed, so obviously very important things. Get all of them and then head into... I don't know how to pronounce that one. Kootzlee's Exotic Herbs? Don't know what we're going to find here. Could be a lot, could be nothing. Looking like a very small shop, it might actually just be a shop for once. Hello.
Why, hello. Kootzlee at your service.
Okay. She sits down, her pruning shears, and looks you up and down with a warm smile.
I can tell that you're new to the Deadfire. Maybe you're still getting your bearings? Some of my herbs can help with seasickness or worse afflictions.
What makes you think I got here recently?
It's nothing personal. You just have that taking everything in look about you. Give it time. It'll pass.
She reaches to brush a curl of fur behind her ear. What brings a herbalist to Periki's Overlook?
Money is the obvious answer, but I don't think that's what you're after.
She smiles.
Yes, I'm an herbalist, but I also pride myself as a florist. I think the city liked the idea of putting a flower shop somewhere visible. It's ostentatious, really. Probably the same reason why we have a magic shop next door. Periki's Overlook is a great big splash of culture and innovation, there to show travelers that the Huana are ready for the world at large.
She shrugs. Alright, show me what you have for sale. Okay, so we got apothecary gloves, dexterity alchemy, very nice. And we also have... that's it. One thing I did think that we should do... we should probably sell some of our junk. What's Gon's Pledge? Interesting. It's an AoE heal thing. 2 per life. Interesting. Who did we take that off of? I don't remember. Anyway, not what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell everything which is a basic level. So anything which... I don't know why I only sold 2 of those. But anything that isn't, you know, unique in any way, we're just going to sell. That's why we're also going to keep all the grimoires, because the grimoires are actually unique-ish. There's a good reason to have them, although we should probably sell 1, because we're never going to need to be in a situation where we need 2. Sell all basic armor, because there is 0 reason to keep it. We'll keep the hat and the cape. Yeah, we'll keep the hats and the capes, but we'll get rid of the rest there. Anything else we want to get rid of? None of that. That's all useful. That's all useful. That seems about right. We'll get 900 for it. We're a little bit richer. That's fine. She was actually just a shop. We could get the alchemist gloves, which would be alright. I want to unlock that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and unlock it.
I see where you're going with that. There. What did I tell you?
Nice. So that is stealing
Leave it
still.
to me.
Yeah, just wanted the experience from unlocking it. Imagine all these people just coming by going, why is this unlocked? Like, I'm sure I locked it. We're just causing a bunch of people to go crazy. Right, and now we are done.
Jody,
Oh.
I say you stepped on a sacred palm beetle.
No, I didn't mean to. Darn it, you think that's bad luck on me now?
Ikara, the elders say your nose will fall off into the sand.
That sounds Wait, you wouldn't be pulling my leg now, would you?
I like the dynamic we're getting with our group now, those two. Right, we're done in Periki's Overlook, so on to the next place. South exit. So, been to Queen's Birth, Periki's Overlook, the Gullet. I'm leaving Serpent's Crown deliberately to last, because that's where we're going to meet the Queen. Let's go to Brass Citadel, it's down here. Yeah, that seems alright, and then we'll go Sacred Stair, Serpent's Crown. Okay. So head down, past the Gullet, and into the Brass Citadel. I think is where the Rawatayan trading company is, if I remember right. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that's where they are. We did also get a quest a couple of episodes ago, I think it was, about Sealed Fate. Yeah, which we need to deal with, but yeah, we'll go, basically we're doing a first pass, and we'll go back around and do it all again.
What is your business at the Brass Citadel?
I'm just looking around.
You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensbirth.
His mouth quirks in a grin.
Grand Secretary Atsura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs.
He points to the steps.
Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right.
Is he in charge around here?
Hazanui Karu is the ultimate authority in the Brass Citadel.
He crosses his arms over his chest in salute.
But she must endure the sops at the palace.
He rolls his eyes.
When she returns, I'm sure she will grant you an audience. For now, Atsura Nui speaks with her voice.
Okay. That's fine. Absolutely fine. Thank you for your information.
No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house. You must think I'm an idiot.
Ak, you got one thing right.
Okay. So we got this bit here, then we got the Officer's Lounge, Imperial Command, Fleet Master's Office, Sacred Stair, Powder House, Gunsmith, and Docks. So this is all, I like the contrast. Queen's Birth was a lot of, shops and odd bits here and there, and there was a tavern. This is the Raratayan area. This is very much militaristic. This is all very structured and ordered. I like it. Anyway, were we told to go up these? Yes, up these stairs and then along to Imperial Command, I think, right?
Green islands and blue skies.
The locals don't know how good they have it.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, and to Imperial Command. Who's, Tumara? Hello.
All this trouble over a tablet of fucking stone. If my company's standing wasn't on the line, I would have written this one off as a loss already.
Oh, yes, it's her, of course, right. See you later. We've already spoken to her. Spoke to her outside Archimir's house. I was sure I recognized the name. I was just like, Tamara. She was just kind of there, like, named, but not jumping out at us, so I was confused. What we got here? The air around the coral thrums with life-sustaining magic. Okay, so they're keeping it alive magically. Full of Raratayan guards. Can we go this way? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go to the lower side of Imperial Command. Just go room by room. Okay. There's a lot down here.
They weren't that bad.
No, this would be stealing.
Hazanui with kablooey?
I can't think of anything else that goes with Hazanui.
Yeah, that's a fair point. We're looking for a bad
Me
poet.
neither. That's why I leave epics to the lore college.
There's a jailer.
Criticism is easier than creation.
Okay. Nobody in any of the jails, though, apart from one guard. Okay, what have we got over here? A map, maybe? Hood-stained tally sheets tucked beneath this battlefield model suggest it's been used for recreational purposes. Oh no, they're into war games. That's alright.
I got this.
Here.
I got this.
Oh right, I actually went to the right place. Completely by accident. A plaque below the coral reads, "As we shape coral, we shall shape nations. In victory, Yoranga Nui." Okay, hello. The man behind the desk regards you with attentive, unblinking eyes and a perfectly open expression. His smooth features make it hard to pinpoint his age, though the crinkles at the corner of his eyes suggest he is not especially young. He cocks his head, taking your measure. He pauses before speaking, just a little longer than seems normal. Oh, we got some stuff here. So this is because of our diplomacy and the fact that we are stoic, maybe? I don't know, anyway. When he finally does, he crosses his forearms over his chest and gives you a slow, exquisitely courteous nod. The whole gesture is so perfectly choreographed that it seems that he must have practiced it many times.
Watcher Nui, the Lord of Cadnua.
He gives you a sleek half smile that reveals a row of perfect pointed teeth. In his careful stare and the pause before he speaks, you recognize that he's studying you.
I'm not one for ostentation, but your remarkable display at Queen's Birth suggests that you are an individual with skills, not mere style.
Who are you?
I am Atsura, Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company.
It sounds like a significant title, but he is strangely emotionless. He might as well be describing the colour of his clothing. Ah, and what's your business here?
Rawatai has long maintained trade interests in the region.
He gives you that unusually placid smile again.
While our homeland is rich in saltpeter, the violent climate and rocky soils make it a poor source for most other basic staples. It's my business to look after the mainland's interests here.
He spreads his hands wide to include his rather plain, dim office. Well, it's an honor to meet you.
And it's a pleasure to meet someone of your elegant manners.
He dips his head, returning the sentiment.
Hazanui Karu will want to meet you as well, but she is stuck in Serpent's Crown. It is a place of entirely too much talk, and I find that the more talk one hears, the less it means.
He smiles. You don't sound like you're entirely at ease with your neighbors here.
Such is the world we live in. Were it different, all the locksmiths and masons in Aora would be out of work.
He shrugs and spreads his hands as if the logic were self-evident.
And here our neighbors include a nation of pirates and a fractured people led by a figurehead. To say nothing of the Valians. Leave it to them to observe a substance that occurs nowhere else on Aora, and immediately set about pulverizing it for profit.
A ripple of distaste passes over his features. And what would you do with it?
Nothing. We know too little about luminous Adra to understand the consequences of ripping it out.
He pauses and considers you. Okay, I like his answer. It was good.
Perhaps you can help me keep them from doing more harm.
What did you have in mind?
The demand for luminous Adra has sent the Valian Trading Company into a frenzy. Their expeditions grow too bold, and their officers too greedy.
He puckers his lips as though at a lack of discretion at a dinner party.
Worse, their rapid expansion attracts pirates and threatens the outlying Juana tribes. This risks souring the Kahanga royals against all foreign involvement.
He inclines his head like he's about to let you in on a secret.
But you can curtail their growth.
Well, obviously, this isn't about the wealth of the Deadfire, this is about them outpacing you.
By snapping up land we need to grow food and build ships for our people? Indeed. But our interests and Deadfire's are not mutually exclusive.
He interlaces his long, well-manicured fingers.
The Valians have sent an expedition to Pokokahara, a storm-wrecked island believed to house a vein of luminous. I hear you accomplished an incredible feat in restoring the luminous Adra near Port Maje.
He appraises you again with those unblinking eyes.
If your abilities allow you to do that, then perhaps you are also capable of the opposite. Find the luminous Adra at Pokokahara. Render it unusable to the Valians. This should encourage them to develop the resources they have, rather than reaching for more.
His eyebrows raise to degree, both a request and an invitation. I think we're going to go with number 2. I thought you were concerned about disturbing Luminous Adra.
Deeply.
He furrows his brow, frowning deeply. Abruptly, his expression clears.
But if a small sacrifice here will discourage the Valians from further ventures, then it is a worthwhile risk.
Why would I help you?
Because governors like Clario are a rare breed. Most of the Valian administrators care little for the well-being of the Juana.
Yeah. He's trying to play on, our tendencies. I wonder how we would answer if we were like a profiteering character. Like we were all about profit, like a very mercenary type character, or if we were an aggressive character. I assume he'd come up with another answer that would fit how we were playing.
If the Valians claim Pokokahara, it is the locals who will truly suffer.
Okay. So, What's to say I don't tell the Valians about this?
For all their faults, they don't lack imagination. I'm confident they know of our intentions.
Okay, we're not going to agree to anything, and we're not going to say that we won't do it. We're just going to say we'll see.
Deadfire is a tumultuous place. Consider the value of an ally with ships, cannons, and the backing of a great empire.
He gives you a soothing smile.
I do not have the precise location of Pococahara, but the tribe on the nearby island of Tikawara could probably help. I suggest starting there.
The village of Tikawara was recently funded by a small Huana tribe. Though the location has limited access to food, it is close to legendary Iguithan ruins known to the Huana as Pococahara. He circles a small out-of-the-way island on your map.
Now, what else can I do for you?
I think that we did already have something about Pococahara from the Valians. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, what exactly is the Brass Citadel? He hesitates, looking at you as if the answer is obvious.
It's a trading post, of course.
Your trading post has high walls, cannons, and guard towers.
Anything worth building is worth protecting.
You seem different from the rest of the Royal Deadfire Company.
How do you mean that?
His eyes are attentive and utterly expressionless. Let's try and lead him on. Let's let him answer it. Come on, you know exactly what I mean. He lowers his head, watching you all the while.
Are you making advances at me?
He still has not blinked. No.
It's for the best. This would be a most inconvenient time to begin an attachment.
Alright, see ya.
Right here. Be right
That was
there.
not where I was going with that at all, actually. So I thought I'd just be honest on that one. Maybe he was just deflecting. A few stray bitter squash seeds are tucked under the pillows. Okay.
Isn't this something?
Isn't that something that's also stealing, I'm afraid.
Consider it done.
These rifles look perfectly maintained and ready for use at a moment's notice. All these papers are letters home, almost all praise Deadfire's weather. The weather in Rauatai is not very good. That's what I'm getting from this. In here, someone has posted an earnest but excruciating attempt at epic poetry. Well, I hope we meet this poet at some point. Right, head up here. Continue looking around their lovely Imperial command. Oh yeah, I was going to check. So, we got the Dorm of Pococahara. Yeah. I'm sure that we got one of these somewhere else. Maybe I'm wrong. I was sure I saw something else that said it was talking about Pococahara before, because I'm sure that we read that one about the island before. Oh, right, we have to find Bertino in the Brass Citadel. Okay, we can do that as well, while we're here. Okay. Oh, there we go. The Valian Trading Company sent an expeditionary force to find the island of Pococahara, but they never returned. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot going on in Pococahara. We'll have to see how we want to play that one. Oh, Sabormi. Hello. A young woman with a bright, wide smile and eyes to match raises her hand and gives you a quick but enthusiastic wave. Then, with an exaggerated look of embarrassment, she stops herself and crosses her forearms over her chest.
I always forget that part. Say, you're the Watcher of Cadnua, aren't you? I've never met anyone famous before. Except the Hazanui. She yells at me sometimes.
Her grin widens impossibly. The Hazanui yells at you?
Oh, all the time.
She screws her face up into a look of mock seriousness. Still, she can't keep from smiling.
Where's my white leaf? Stop daydreaming. Sabormi, if you lose the ledgers again, I'll have you clean the latrines.
At this last comment, she leans close, her eyes wide and her voice low with awe.
All this time, I didn't realize she knew my name.
Are you always this excitable?
It's just, this is my first time away from the rough country.
Rough country. An affectionate Rowatine term for their homeland. Rough refers both to the unyielding rocky soils and the storms that batter the mainland.
I'd heard there were thick, green forests and sandy beaches without a storm in sight, but I never imagined this.
She shakes her head and runs in wonderment.
You must have traveled lots, seen all sorts of amazing places.
Sabormi folds her hands under her chin, watching you intently. Let's see. And why does this interest you so much?
I love Rawatai, but it's hard to go a week without seeing storms, or hearing about mudslides burying a village somewhere.
Her buoyant expression sags, but only for a moment. Well, you're the quartermaster, can you sell me something? Her face scrunches up in disappointment.
I really wish I could, but my supplies are for the Royal Deadfire Company and our allies. Hazanui's orders.
Uh-huh.
Maybe if you impress her or Atsura, they could make an exception.
She smiles, hopefully. Okay, see ya. Right, well. Head through here. Still stealing? Alright, can't do that part. Well, let's see what else we got. I can't go in there, huh? Well, that's fine. I mean, I could. I could kill you all and break in, but I'm not going to. Hello, Weapon Master. No, I thought Weapon Master sounded like a unique enough name that she might have something to say. It wasn't. Right. Head over here, and we can leave to the Brass Citadel. Okay, so we've been to Imperial Command. We know what's going on there. So that would have taken us out of that side.
You ever use your abilities to play jokes on anyone?
Ikera, I once sold a water globe to a Mataru priest. It was filled with live fish.
That doesn't sound like much of a joke.
The trick was letting the sculpture break down while he slept with it over his head.
Oh, I'm getting so many ideas right now. How would you feel about betraying the Watcher's trust?
For the glory of Raratine, the strength of the Ranganua. 2818. Okay. Then up here, what do we got? Oh, we got stuff that we can have.
Mighty people, all Rawatai, to many lands you spread. Heed the call of the Raganui, his voice shall fill your sails.
Alright. So we got Lower College Chanter. Does he want to say anything?
Mighty winds sent us north to the shores of Rawatai, till our 5 ships bore us out to Deadfire once again.
Alright. We cannot go into the powder house upper. Alright, that makes sense. Well, I guess we're going to want to head down this way then. Yeah, let's go to the officers' lounge if we can. Hang out with a few officers.
With sails unfurled and sword held high, to battle for glory and Rautai.
Faithfully done, Emiani. Report to Wakoyo Nui when your hands and your temper have healed.
Oh, that was a punishment.
That's the last time I ship out with some soft-handed runt. Come to gawk, too? My punishment's over, you know.
She looks away and crosses her arms carefully to hide her burned hands. Why were you holding a red-hot cannonball? She glances back at you, a look of defiance in her eye.
I punched my captain.
It's as if the mere mention of the incident takes her back to it. Her face darkens with anger and a bitter snarl transforms her features.
Though maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. Like I don't know the difference between a smooth and rifled bore.
She shakes her head, quietly stewing. What are you going to do now?
I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better.
She grins impishly.
Still a scramble root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Maybe I'll see if anyone's looking for an expert cannoneer.
I'm looking for an expert cannoneer? She looks you up and down, considering your offer.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know. Either personally or by reputation. I'm sure you're capable. But I don't know enough about you. Yet.
Her eyebrow quirks up in hopeful suggestion.
Let's talk again when you've made a name for yourself.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll make a note about that. Expert canon new something like that. Brass Citadel. There we go. Right. Officer's Lounge. Here we come. I'm imagining this is the tavern of the area, but I could be wrong. Okay, so yeah, we've got a couple people there.
Meet her eye when
Basically
you've got
just the
bad
lounge
news.
server.
If this is about the Hazatoa tournament, I've got nothing to do with that, alright? I just serve the drinks.
He holds up his hands with the exhausted resignation of a man who's made his case many times. What's this about the Hazatoa?
Some of the soldiers and sailors get to making unwise bets when they play.
He rolls his eyes.
Like I said, I keep out of it. None of the regulars are looking for new opponents, though, if that's what you're asking. All the better for you, trust me.
Why'd you work for the Royal Deadfire Company?
They always pay on time. They're run by the Ranganui, so they should, right?
He grins.
Also, I'm from a town near Tekoa. Rautai's full of all kinds of kith, not just Amawa. But the Amawa have a long history at sea. They make up a lot of sailors and soldiers, including most of the ones that ended up here.
He nods vaguely at the bar. I'd like to order something.
Sorry, I'm really only supposed to sell to captains working for the Royal Deadfire Company.
He taps a sign near the bar. Alright, what's it say? You can read it here.
I don't think she
Surface.
likes me. I spent most of my career escorting foreign ships.
Many have. She's got nothing against scramble roots, but don't stare at her hand.
Okay. Service reserved for officers of the Royal Deadfire Company. And then we got the board. Someone's named Peiro is trouncing his opponent at Hazatoa. Alright. Hazatoa is their, like, war game, I guess. Okay. Cool.
Last time I shipped out.
There's not a lot around here so far. Or not a lot where they will actually speak to us. Alright, let's head into Uto's gunsmithery. Maybe we can get a gun. That'd be good. What have we got here? The scrolls are filled with meticulous diagrams of rifles and pistols. We got some apprentices and we got Uto. What have we got on the wall? Guns look ancient, but the metals are still polished and the wood is perfectly smooth. Hello, Uto. The man greets you with arms crossed over his chest. He has a mass of scar tissue where his left eye would be, and his hands are knotted with bulging tendons.
Looking for a pistol or an arquebus? Rauatai makes the finest guns in Aora, and I make the finest guns in Rauatai.
What makes your guns so special?
Craftsmanship.
He holds out his knotted hands, keeping them entirely still as he speaks to you. They're covered in small burns and scars that blur the varied pigmentation of his skin.
If you ask my superiors at Imperial Command, they'll tell you our main exports are saltpeter and metal. Those are just things. They're prized because of what we do with them.
He reaches under the counter and presents a blunderbuss, holding it out for your inspection with his ever-steady hands. It's a high-quality piece.
Rauataian industry is about discipline, precision, mastery of a careful art. Those qualities guide all that we build.
He puts the blunderbuss away. Well, let's see what you have. So he has the Dragon's Dowry. 45,000. Wow. It's an arquebus, two-handed, does a ton of damage. Okay, so it's inaccurate. Doesn't do a lot of crit. Doesn't have a lot of deflection against melee weapons. But it does have the 60% extra damage, and it gives Dragon's Breath, which is a once per encounter fire move. Or firewall move, okay. And 10% chance for the wielder to suffer 10 burn damage on launching attack. And it does an extra 25% damage as burn. I don't think it's worth the money. I think we found better items for much cheaper, but okay, it's interesting if nothing else. Rufus Hmont, elder gunsmith of the Forged in Fire, a militant Magranite warband, crafted this arquebus for his own use during the Saints' War. Unwilling to trust his life to a weapon unless it had the blessing of Magrin, he melded fire and steel into an instrument of blazing destruction. The gun's firing mechanism is unique, as it does not rely on flint or match to spark the pan. Instead, ornate arcane symbols on the hammer and frizzen provide the necessary ignition for the primer. This rune lock, as Rufus calls it, is effective and reliable. Dragon's Dowry fires lead balls wreathed in fire. When loaded with rune powder, it can belch forth a torrent of pure flame. Unfortunately, the unstable magics that provide such power are unpredictable. On occasion, hot powder can blow backwards upon firing, burning the shooter. Rufus saw this not as a drawback of his creation, but as a just offering to Magrin. The burns that pocked his cheeks, hands, and arms were symbols of his penitence and his god's good favor. Okay, I'm looking at it again. The damage is probably where it's worth the money, but oh yeah, it's I don't know. I don't like it very much. Scordio's Trophy. So less damage for crits. Scoring hits with the weapon grants stacking minus 15% time with melee weapons for 30 seconds. Recovery time. So I guess you're meant to like shoot them with the pistol and then switch to your melee weapon and hit them. Weird. But it also has critical shot, which is plus 20% crit damage. So I'm not finding it amazing, but okay. Vincolo Scordio acquired this ivory furnished pistol from the second captain he ever led a mutiny against. Leading mutinies was in fact one of Scordio's few talents. He was a mediocre sailor and a poor pirate, mostly because of his acute distaste for following orders, but he was an excellent turncoat. The mutiny went off without a hitch. Scordio disarmed the captain and shot him in the head. That accomplished, Scordio took command. His brief stint as captain was cut short by a second mutiny soon after, however, and he found himself marooned on a small atoll. His treacherous shipmates had been kind enough to leave him the clothes on his back, his new pistol, and half a bottle of rum. Unwilling to pull the trigger on himself, Scordio drank the rum and waited to die. Oh.
Nice to see you too.
Alright, yeah. Well, we'll head out of there. I don't think I could see us coming back for those. They just had too many downsides. They're not how I like to do business.
Can I ask you something personal?
Makara, do not hold back, my friend.
You sure? Sometimes I ask things that get people riled up without meaning to.
Well, if it riles me up, then I say you have my undivided attention.
All right. Is there any kind of ocean critter I shouldn't be eating in front of you?
No reply
Right here.
whatsoever. Fantastic.
I got this.
Oh, there's the guy we're looking for, Bertino. Hello.
Beat it. I don't have time to chit-chat.
The thin Valian glances over your shoulder with an expectant frown. You stole a pair of gloves from the dark cupboard. Give them to me.
Not a chance, amico.
He narrows his eyes at you.
Fascina sent you, didn't she? Postenago, just for these?
Shaking his head, he pulls a pair of fine gloves from his pocket, studying them with evident disappointment.
Soft as down, but not a single fence willing to pay me a fair price. Maybe they've got imp stink all over them.
You're gonna have a hard time selling an archmage's gloves for fast coin.
Should have guessed these were bad luck. Well, it's too late to go making smart decisions, isn't it?
He opens his mouth to say more, but something to the southwest distracts him and his expression fills with dread.
Here he comes, and I'm too late. If Hamuto doesn't give me an extension on my debt, I'm a dead man.
Keep your mouth shut and follow my lead. Glancing at you, Bertano shrugs and swallows down a lump in his throat. Okay. A unit of steely-eyed soldiers approach the docks, clutching pikes and firearms with quiet professionalism. At their head stands a tall Amawa in a mustard yellow uniform. He turns his attention between you and Bertino.
So, Bertino, you hired a mercenary, or else a negotiator. That coin should have gone toward your debt to me.
Amuto rubs a long scar that extends the length of his neck.
Huh? No, I didn't. That is, I would never go behind your back.
Bertino's voice falters and he turns to you with sudden panic. You know what? Let's establish ourselves with a position of authority. Bertino, shut up. The adults are talking. Hamuto's eyes brighten and he nods. The soldiers around him chuckle with approval.
I like dealing with people of substance.
He nods thoughtfully.
This is a private matter. Your interference is unnecessary.
Hamuto spreads his hands in a peaceful manner as his soldiers level their guns at Bertino. What is your plan for Bertino?
Indentured servitude. I trust this is a more honest and respectable alternative than any pursuit he would take on his own terms.
You sound more reasonable than I was led to believe.
Do I? One can be adherent to the tenets of maritime law and still be seen as a monster.
Well, since he can't pay up, take him. Fair's fair. Bertino glances around, growing panic evident in his frantic movements. He freezes when one of Hamuto's men raises a gun and points at his face.
Enough. I have work for you.
He snaps his fingers and readies to depart. Before you go, I need the gloves Bertino stole?
No. Bertino's assets are mine to dispense with as I please. I'll hear no more of it.
Well, we've got a lot of stuff that we can do with our second bit here. He stole them from the wizard Arkhamir. Do you want that on your conscience?
These are Arkhamir's possessions?
Hamuto looks at Bertino with grudging respect.
I would no more incur the wrath of an archmage than I would stick my head inside a dragon's maw. There you have it. If our business is concluded at last, then I take my leave.
Farewell. Hamuto nods to you and turns to leave, his soldiers ushering Bertino onward. Yeah, I saw no reason at all to protect Bertino there. Like, we were sent for the gloves, we got the gloves. They're not going to kill him. If they were going to kill him, we would have stepped in. He is in indentured servitude, which admittedly is bad. But, on the other hand, he did have a debt which he wasn't going to pay off. And he was just going to keep stealing from people until he could pay it off. So, yeah, I think we made the right decision there. Also, when I saw Orlin Peddler, I thought somebody was peddling Orlins, as in was trying to sell them. Obviously, that's not what it is. The peddler was an Orlin, but anyway. Right, so what have we got in here? We got some Adarian bodyguards, a Valian bodyguard, and the Fleet Master, Wakoyo. The inscription reads, "That which grows is strengthened by Coral Master Torquio." I wish to read this. Thank you. Map showing shipping routes from Deadfire to Rawatai. Okay. Hello, Fleet Master.
Clear skies, my friend.
Wakoyo crosses his arms and tips his head to the side. A long scar traces a path down his face, curving sharply where his cheek rises with a smile. Greetings.
The boats of our decorated armada have orders which spread them thinly across the archipelago. Rawatai finds itself in need of a privateer.
His brow rises as he speaks the word.
Your ship, unmoored from Deadfire politics, is an asset I would grasp with both hands. An arrangement can help us both. You will empty the seas of competition in exchange for profit.
Aren't you afraid that privateering will start a war?
An official reckoning is drafted to account for every cannonball shot in the name of Rawatai. Our paperwork is most thorough. For every ship sunk, there is a legal justification. Our enemies will know the war is started on the day we fail to turn in our paperwork.
What bounties do you have available?
A Scylla wave skipper is your first target. A pirate shirking any pretense of lawful conduct in the open seas.
Wakoyo grimaces and itches at his ear. Well, I'll take the bounty.
Most excellent. A Scylla commands the Voyager River Dragon, which pesters a group of islands to the southwest of Port Mage.
Before I go, I had some questions.
Ask away, my privateer. I would not have you take to the water uninformed.
Well, actually, no, that's fine. Farewell. Okay,
Yeah,
we've got another
leave it to
bounty.
me.
That was easy enough. What an incredibly short area in terms of exploration.
It's the last time I ship out
no
with some
time at all,
soft-handed
and
runt.
we've explored it all.
I thought Juana didn't believe in personal property. Yet you've brought quite the assortment of leather necklaces.
Kara, just so. But not all of them go around my neck.
In that case, perhaps you could remove them from my sleeping berth.
Oh, it is no burden, my friend. You are free to borrow one.
Alright. Well, wait, one last place. There's this door. Yeah, I assume that's going to be locked. Can we go in?
I'm sorry, but this area is strictly off limits.
The young guard draws himself up to his full height, crossing his arms. Can I have a look around?
Sorry, my orders come from the Hazanui herself.
Come on, I can't get into that much trouble. Not when this place is so well guarded.
All it would take is one stray flame, one errant spark.
He catches himself and stops, shaking his head.
No, I'm sorry, but you really don't understand.
So what is this place?
Private property of the Royal Deadfire Company, that's what.
He eyes you warily. Alright, see ya. Right, well, that's fine then. Let's leave. So, we want to go back to Periki's Overlook. In fact, we want to go all the way to the Dark Cupboard, because we're finished that quest. It was a pretty straightforward quest. Go there, get item, return with item. And hopefully we'll get a good reward from that. Or at least we'll get some brownie points. Hello.
You're back. Kue, any news?
Well, Bertino couldn't pay his debts. The Royal Deadfire Company took him as an indentured servant.
Kue, this is a nightmare.
Pacina covers her face and moans.
What of the gloves? What happened to them?
Oh, well, I have them right here. She accepts the gloves with a grateful sigh.
At least I know Arkemir won't feed me to the imps.
She folds the gloves with care and stows them away.
Take your discount as well. If the cupboard doesn't make its goals, so be it.
Farewell. Actually, no. How much discount? We got 5% discount. Woo. Alright, well, that's fine. We also got 3,000 experience. How far are we off leveling? We're about 2,000 off leveling. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're probably going to level next episode, I would imagine. Right. Well, I am going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching. We're roughly where we started, but we are, we've explored a whole other area. We've got the Sacred Stair, and then we've got to go up and speak to a queen. See you next time. Goodbye.